Hey homies, what's up? It's your boy, Johnny. Just want to take a quick moment to, before we start, state you don't always have to figure out something big and bad in science in order to be influential. You don't always have to be on the cutting edge. You don't have to discover anything new. Sometimes all you really gotta do to be badass is be willing to take that first step in a new direction and understand how many people behind you it's going to help. How many people behind you you're about to inspire, how many people you're standing up for, and being willing to be yourself, be true to yourself, and willing to stand up for others. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Let's hit that intro. Hey homies, what's up? So today, allow me to introduce to you Ruby Bridges, social justice activist. Ruby was born in Tylertown, Mississippi on September 8th, 1954. At the age of 2, she moved to New Orleans with her parents, Abon and Lucille Bridges, to seek better opportunities for the family. When Ruby was in kindergarten, she was chosen to take a test to determine if she could attend an all-white school. This was due to the 1954 Supreme Court ruling known as Brown versus the Board of Education, which ordered all schools to desegregate. Oh yeah, we're gonna be mixing things up now. Ruby was one of 6 students to pass the test, and her parents decided to send her to an all-white elementary school to receive a better education. On November 14th, 1960, at the age of 6, Ruby became the very first African-American child to attend an all-white public school, William Frantz Elementary. Ruby and her mother were escorted by federal marshals to the school. Think about that for a second. When was the last time you went to school and you had federal marshals there for you specifically? When they arrived to the school, 2 federal marshals walked in front of Ruby and 2 behind her. To this day, this image is immortalized in the history books, and specifically The Problem We All Must Live With, a painting by Norman Rockwell, which is now on display in the White House outside the Oval Office. Ruby faced blatant racism every day while entering the school. Many parents kept their children at home. People outside the school threw objects. Police had to set up barricades in order to keep her safe. She was threatened and even, quote unquote, greeted by a woman displaying a black doll in a wooden coffin. Only one teacher, Barbara Henney, agreed to teach her. Ruby was one student in Barbara Henry's class because all the other children had been pulled out by their parents. She was not allowed to go to the cafeteria or outside for recess with the other students. Think about that right? Let's look back at school, elementary. Recess was like the best part. Oh, dodgeball, Legos, marbles, being outside in grass. She wasn't allowed to have any of that. When Ruby needed to use the restroom, she had to be escorted by a federal marshal. Ruby's family also faced discrimination outside of the school as well. However, as the year went on, many families began to send their children back to school, and the protests and civil disturbances slowly stopped. During Ruby's second year at William Frantz Elementary, she no longer needed to be escorted by federal marshals. She walked to school on her own and was in classroom with other students. Ruby, unknowingly, by standing up for herself and just continuing to be herself and being brave enough to take that step into the school, Ruby had paved the way for other African American children. In 1999, Ruby formed the Ruby Bridges Foundation in New Orleans. Ruby's foundation promotes tolerance, respect, and appreciation of people's differences. Through education, the Ruby Bridges Foundation strives to end racism. So dear Ruby Bridges, for your bravery and just courage and willingness to take that step, not just into the school, but the step to stand for not only African Americans, but people of color, and willing to stand for desegregating the education system. We, especially myself, would want and love to thank you. Thank you, Ruby Bridges. All right, homies. Y'all be safe. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Later.